Hey, Retcon Raider here. Today's video is dedicated to Revenant and Alois. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. Welcome back to Battle Brothers. Last time, we established the Raiders, had our very first fight, and completed our very first contract. Not bad for a filthy group of peasants. Of course, we've still got a pretty long way to go before we're an even halfway competent group of actual mercenaries, so let's not waste any time here. Let's take a look at the map and see what we can get ourselves into today. Alright, so we started off in the fishing village of Sandorf, then we headed north through these three villages, eventually ending up in the town of Hohenau. We've actually got a pretty convenient loop of roads to the west. If we're lucky, that might let us establish some sort of trade loop, which would make it a lot easier to get some decent starting money. Oh, before we go anywhere though, let's see what Hohenau has to offer. I don't think I've got that in my notes yet. Nice, they've got copper ingots. That's actually one of the more profitable trade goods. They've also got a pretty good price on tools, which is something we're going to need. Well, we are pretty low on gold, but it's best to stock up while we're getting good prices. Looks like they've got a taxidermist here too. It's always nice to have easy access to one of those. Anyway, let's get over to Wagenheim. It's a pretty decent walk too. If we're lucky, we might spot a fight we can actually handle. Hey, there's our second one-skull contract. Though, judging from the missing persons report, it's probably a monster contract. That could be problematic. Nice, we've also got more trade goods, even if it is just rolls of cloth. I'll have to double-check my notes, but I think cloth is actually the least profitable of the trade goods. Still, it's certainly better than nothing. Alvar the Trademaster's got a few dogs at his feet, all tuckered out with their tongues lolling. They've spent the past few days hunting for missing folks. Folks that are seemingly disappearing to God knows where. He leans down and pets one of the hounds, scratching it behind the ear. Usually a dog would respond to that, but the poor thing barely even responds. The folks don't know what I know though, which is that people ain't just disappearing. They're being taken. Horrible beasts are afoot, Sellsword, and I need you to go after them. Hell, maybe you'll even find someone or two of the townsfolk. Though I doubt it. One of the mutts lets out a long, tired wheeze, almost as if on cue. Yeah, this is definitely a monster contract. That means web-necked or noxerer, maybe direwolves if we're unlucky. Dangerous work, but we can't afford to turn it down. Not if we want to keep our guys fed. He straightens up. So, payment. You'll get 280 crowns when the contract is done. We need to be paid more for this. He sighs. It's 290 crowns when the contract is done. Fair enough. We've got a deal, Trademaster. Okay, looks like we're hunting down whatever terrorizes Wagenheim. Thankfully, we've got a fairly conspicuous set of tracks to follow here. That should lead us right to whatever we're looking for. The real trick's going to be trying to keep everyone alive once we actually find it. Along the way, you stumble across a corpse in the grass. Ordinarily, the dead aren't that much of a surprise. There are people everywhere, so it's only a matter of time until you see a body here and there. Except this one has huge gash marks down the back, and its organs missing. Jeff walks up. The organs are gone because of wolves, or maybe even rabbits. What, you ain't ever heard of a really hungry rabbit? He spits and chews on a fingernail. Anyhow, the markings. That ain't the work of no rabbits or hounds or whatever. That's something bigger, more dangerous. You thank the man for his astute observations, and then tell him to rejoin the ranks. We move on. Oh, okay. Looks like we're up against some dire wolves. Not the best fight for a bunch of level 1 peasants, but let's see how this goes. Well, right off the bat, it looks like Quintus is in trouble. Let's just hope he can hold out until we get reinforcements up there. Nice. Alois softens up one of the dire wolves. Oof, we really need to be careful here. The terrain is pretty obnoxious. Rev drives the tines of his warfork deep into a direwolf's chest. I think it's too dangerous to engage on the south. Let's get these guys up on the northern flank. Jeff lands a solid blow, stunning the badly wounded direwolf. Sir Skelibate moves up to guard our more vulnerable slingers. Quintus prepares himself for the inevitable assault. He tries to force the beast back, but it's just too nimble. Shoot, there's just not a lot we can do here. Not until we get them off those perches, anyway. Alright, moving into round 2. Fingers crossed. Quintus is badly savaged by the attacking wolves, but his padded vest takes the brunt of the blows. King's Rook rushes to the north, handily stunning the wolf that's threatening Valin. Nicely done. Alois lands another solid hit on the badly wounded direwolf, breaking its will. And sensing an opening, Drakiith fells the beast with a deft swing of his axe. Then he leaps onto elevation, moving to flank another wolf with Sir Skelibate. Archibald lands a lucky hit. Rabbit plunges her pitchfork into the stunned wolf on the north. Sir Skelibate mutilates the wolf he's facing, lacerating its hide with his cleaver and severing one of its arteries. Cazador moves up, shield at the ready. Oh, and she actually displaces the wolf. quickly claiming its perch as her own. Skelibate stuns the badly bleeding wolf on the south, more or less sealing its fate. Revenant misses, but clears some room for Valen. Valen steps back, piercing the other stunned direwolf through the shoulder. Jeff wades into battle, pinning the last of the active direwolves. Quintus lands a glancing blow on a stunned direwolf. Moving into round 3. I think we're in pretty good shape here. Nice, no injuries. Let's see if we can wrap this up. Rev lands a glancing hit with his pitchfork. Drakiith's axe bites deep into a direwolf's leg, and he swiftly executes the beast as it stumbles to the ground. With the southern flank handled, the rest of the raiders turn their attention to the north. King manages to land another solid blow. Still not enough to fell his opponent, though. Jeff deftly stuns the last of the uninjured direwolves, then turns and lands a glancing blow on the other one as well. Quintus finally gets some payback, executing the badly injured wolf to his left. Round 4. Revenant lands a glancing blow on the final wolf, breaking its will. And with that, the fight is pretty much over. The rest of the raiders swarm the beast, eagerly vying for the honor of the final kill. Skelibate lands a glancing hit, and Cazador swiftly capitalizes on the opening, brutally decapitating the last of the direwolves. Looks like Drakiith is MVP with 2 of the 4 kills. And sadly, we only got a single wolf pelt. Oh well, it's certainly better than nothing. The beast slain, you order the men to take their pelts as evidence. Your employer, Alvar the Trademaster, should be most happy to see them. Let's be done with this. We have crowns to collect. Alvar the Trademaster takes a few steps back. I see you've killed the beasts. That's a mighty fine pelt you got there. You drop what you've brought. A thick, heavy mane of beastly origin, collapsing into a pile of fur and flesh. The man, almost too scared to get close, tosses you a satchel. 290 crowns, as agreed upon. I will go to the people and tell them of your success. Finally, we can be at peace. A successful hunt. Okay, so that's one more contract under our belt, a little more gold to play with, and a little bit of reputation with the town of Wagenheim. Sadly, it looks like the market is closed and they don't have any more contracts to offer, so I guess we're done here for now. We'll start heading south to the next town in the chain. Hopefully, Eichenberg will have need of some discount mercenaries. Nice. Looks like they do have a new contract for us. They've got a taxidermist and an armorer, too. No trade goods, but those are some pretty decent prices. We should probably stock up on food while we're here. I am tempted to sell off this wolf pelt, but there are actually uses for it, so we'll hold on to it for now. Look at all the mercenaries we can't actually afford. No negative status modifiers on Eichenberg. That means this is probably a caravan escort, or maybe a delivery mission. Either way, it should be easy gold. You step into Gernot the merchant's room and he shoves a map into your face. There are parts of this world man still has yet to find and chart into his maps. I'm looking for collapsed dwellings south of here, at or near the region of Southmark. That's about all I know of it, but I do know it exists. So you go and find it for me and you'll be properly rewarded. Well, I was half right. That is an easy way to earn gold. I don't think you quite understand how this works. We need to come to terms if you want to be paid for this. My offer still stands. You are to receive 320 crowns when the contract is done. Alright, fair enough. Find the collapsed dwellings, somewhere around Southmark. Far to the south. Sounds easy enough. Guess we're headed down here then. You sight collapsed dwellings in the glass of your scope and mark it on your maps. Easy enough. Time to return to Gernot the merchant. It is somewhat tempting to try raiding that stronghold, but it's almost certainly got undead in it. I'm not sure we're ready for that. Let's just head back and collect our pay. You come to Gernot the merchant's room, a fresh map in hand. He takes it from you and looks it over. Well then, I'd mind to think this was a spot too easy, but an agreement is an agreement. He hands you a satchel weighed with precisely what is owed. Grounds well deserved. And that's contract number 3. Once again, there's no point in waiting until morning. We'll head for Brunenthal next. Oh, we've got something. Brigands. Thugs and raiders. And we've got another group of raiders over here. It is tempting to go after these guys, but I'm not sure we're ready for mountainous terrain. Oh, and we've got a Bandit Stronghold. Okay, so we know there's not going to be any shortage of bandits here. Let's do one more pass around the trade loop, see if we can get another couple of levels and some better equipment. Then we'll see about hitting these guys. Oof, 2-skull contract. Definitely above our pay grade. Looks like we're doing okay on supplies. Nothing we need there. We could head to Thalwakt next, but... yeah, they don't have any trade goods. Oh, you know what? I don't think we've been here yet. Otterndorf. Okay, yeah, let's cut across the sand shear here. See what Otterndorf has for us. Ah, looks like we're in luck. There's a 1-skull contract, and I'm guessing it's bandits. Warner the steward's reading one of many scrolls. He angrily tosses it onto a pile of others. The people of Otterndorf are rightfully furious. Do you know a brigand, possibly in league with other vagabonds, managed to steal my rare coin collection from us? That artifact is of immeasurable value to me. And to the people, of course. You shrug. And you want me to get it back for you? The man points a finger. Precisely, smart sellsword. That is exactly what I want you to do. Follow the footprints of thievery and return to me the item which the town, rightfully owns. What's this worth to you? He puts his hand on your shoulder, smiling reaffirmingly. I think I know an adequate compensation for your services. You'll get 230 crowns when the contract is done. I think you can afford a little more than that. Or not. Okay, well, we'll take the contract. This is pretty much the same as that monster hunting contract we just did, except this time, we know we're going up against weak bandits. It's a pretty easy payday, but more importantly, it's also an ideal source of low-tier equipment. And, all things considered, that's really what we need right now. Oh. Something of a commotion draws you from your tent. Men are sitting on a few stumps or on the ground, eagerly watching something in the distance. With squinting eyes, you spot Revenant and Alois doing something odd. An apple rests on one man's head, while the other is walking away, a bow in hand. You ask Rabbit what is going on, and she explains that the two men are going to try some sort of stunt or trick that involves shooting a piece of fruit off a man's head. Shocked, you exclaim that's not safe at all, to which the brother grins and explains that is the point. Well, normally I'd shut this down, but we're a bunch of first-level nobodies, so let's see how this goes. The men cheer as you give an affirming nod. You take a seat amongst them as Alois and Revenant get ready, the former knocking an arrow while the latter balances an apple atop his head. When the fruit is good and steady, the archer draws back his bow, forming but a silhouette of man, wood, and string, a crescent of determination as he aims downfield. The men are exchanging bets on whether or not he misses. You want to look away, but the spectacle truly is too much. A great gasp follows the arrow's release, as though some ominous event long foretold had finally happened. Men reel back in their seats, wincing and gritting their teeth. The apple is shot off Revenant's head, fruit and arrow spinning away. After a brief silence, the men erupt into cheers. Revenant takes a bow, while Alois slackens his draw and looks a bit relieved. Nicely done. +1 resolve for Revenant, +1 range skill for Alois. And Sir Skelibate seems particularly entertained. Well, enough fun in games. We've got the coin thieves in sight. You catch a group of brigands lugging your employer's property around. They seem shocked that you have found them here, and no time is wasted trying to parley. They arm themselves, and you order the Retcon Raiders to charge. Alright. I'm not seeing anything here that we really have to worry about. We obviously don't want to engage these guys on that elevated terrain, so we'll just wait for them to come to us. There we go. I was starting to worry they were going to take their time. I'll probably have Quintus jump up on this elevated perch, just so they don't get it. No luck with the slingstones. No surprise there. Quintus moves up, spear at the ready. Keep holding. We want them to waste their action points. And we've got contact. Rev meets the first charging bandit with his warfork, shredding the poor man's armor. King moves up. But for once, he actually fails to stun his opponent. Jeff lands a solid hit, crushing a bandit's nose with his mace. Sir Skelibate moves up, blood spraying as he hacks into his opponent. Cazador brutally finishes off the noseless bandit, giving her the first kill of the battle. Stileppo moves up, stunning a flail-wielding bandit. Alois lands a glancing hit, as does Archibald. Quintus, ignored by the bandits, leaps from his perch. Rabbit moves up, impaling a badly injured bandit. And then Fox moves up, finishing off the bandit that Rabbit has literally pinned down. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to skip Cazador's turn. Well, that's fine. Round 3. We've got these guys outnumbered 2-1. I like those odds. Drakiith lands a glancing blow with his hand axe. Rabbit impales yet another bandit on the end of her pitchfork. Fox moves up, once again following Rabbit's example. King starts circling, moving to flank the bandit formation. Cazador's axe bites deep into a bandit's neck. She strikes him a second time for good measure, leaving him bleeding out and on the brink of death. Valen mercifully finishes off the bandit with the blood gushing from his neck. Jeff moves up to fill the gap, breaking one of the brigand thugs with his mere presence. Archibald lands 2 savage blows in rapid succession, shattering a brigand's hand and his morale. Quintus repeatedly stabs one of the fleeing bandits, impaling him through the shoulder. Moving into round 3, let's see if these guys have any fight left in them. Goodbye. Oh my. Alright, looks like we do still have a fight on our hands. King's tunic just barely turns aside a bandit's blade. Drakiith lunges past a wounded bandit's shield, killing him on the spot. Valen takes down the other wounded bandit, killing him before he can flee. And it looks like that did it. The last of the bandits is broken. Unfortunately, they're quickly swarmed by the raiders before they can make good their escape. Let's see if we can pin down this other bandit. I think King's got it. Yeah, there we go. King lunges after the fleeing bandit, swiftly beating him into submission with a bloodied club. Quintus drives his spear through the final bandit's shoulder. Round 5. No, I think we've got this. Cazador claims the final kill, mercilessly cutting down the last of the bandits. Wow, looks like Cazador and Drakiith are neck and neck for MVP this session. And they're also our very first level ups. Congratulations, guys. Not much in the way of loot, but I do see a couple of items here we can actually make use of. Well, you found those responsible for stealing the rare coin collection and put them to the sword. Now you just need to put the rare coin collection back into Werner the Steward's hands and get your reward. Let's collect our pay. Actually, before we head back, let's take care of those level ups first. This should be pretty straightforward. All of our characters will get student at level 2. That's kind of a no-brainer. One of the biggest drawbacks of running a peasant militia is that having so many extra soldiers means you gain levels a little slower than usual. That extra 20% bonus will help offset the difference. As for her stats, unfortunately, she doesn't really have much potential as a frontline fighter. She does have stars in fatigue, morale, and range defense though, so she might make a halfway decent pikeman. Yeah, we'll keep her on the front line for now, but we'll shuffle her to the back as soon as we get a good replacement. She'll basically be our backup sergeant, in case something happens to Fox. Oh, let's get her a proper shield while we're here, too. She'll need all the help she can get. As for Drakiith, he'll obviously get the student perk as well. And he does actually have some decent potential as a frontline fighter. I'll go ahead and put points into melee attack and melee defense. And logically, I should start boosting his fatigue as well, but oof. That health total's a lot lower than I'd like it to be. Okay, we'll put his final advance in fatigue for now, but we definitely need to get his health up to at least 60. Otherwise, he'll just be too fragile for the front line. And I'm not sure if we're actually going to use any of this other stuff just yet. Actually, let's toss that dagger to whoever has the highest weapon skill. Looks like that's her Skelibate. Alright, let's get back to Otterndorf. Werner the Steward takes the rare coin collection from you, hugging it close as though he'd retrieved a lost child. His eyes get a little teary, just looking at his artifact. Thank you, Sellsword. This means a lot to me. I mean, the town. You have our gratitude. He pauses as you stare at him. His eyes bounce to a corner of the room. Our gratitude, Sellsword. A large wooden chest is opened by a guard. You count the crowns and go. Crowns well deserved. Well, that was a little bit weird, but at least we got paid. We really don't want to do business in a town that's just been raided, so we'll head to Sandorf next. Oh, shoot, except we're almost completely out of food. I suppose we can at least buy a bag of grain or something. Perfect. You know what? Let's grab those bandages and that net too. Might as well start prepping for more difficult fights. Basically, we'll eventually want all our pikemen to also serve as medics and sergeants. They're the guys who will keep the rest of the company from breaking or bleeding out in the middle of combat. Okay, back to Sandorf. Well, it looks like Sandorf does have a contract for us, but they've also clearly seen better days. I think it's fair to say that we're not going to be purchasing any amber while we're here, not that we really had the money for it anyway. We will take that contract though, it's the least we can do for our hometown. Anyway, we are past the 40-minute mark, so I think this is actually a pretty good breaking point for the episode. We'll hit the pause button for now, but we'll pick up here next time, as we take on that contract and then continue following this little trade loop we formed for ourselves. If all goes well, we might be ready to take on our first group of brigand raiders. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Battle Brothers, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube channel, the official Facebook page, the official Twitter feed, or the store pages on Steam and GOG. Links are in the description.